Hello and welcome Mr. Wiley Teaches Math. Today we're going to talk about area of a triangle. Previous lessons we've looked at areas of rectangles and squares and found out the length times the width gives us the area. We've looked at parallelograms and found out that the base times the height gives us the area of a parallelogram. For triangles we're going to do something similar. Let's calculate the area of this square. Length times width. 4 centimeters times 4 centimeters, which gives us 16 centimeters squared, which is the total area that this square covers. If we take any two opposite corners, we join them up with a straight line, we're going to see that we get two triangles that take up half the original square. So if we want to find out the area of just this triangle, we would take the original amount and we would divide it in half and find out that the area of just the triangle is going to be 8 centimeters squared. So let's try that with the formula. So the area of our triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So that comes out of the parallelogram. It's the same thing happens down here. If we take a parallelogram, we chop any two corners, opposite corners, we find out that our parallelogram becomes two triangles that are equal to each other and take up half the space. So area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2. Alright, so let's go back to our original. Base times height divided by 2. So my base is 4. My height is 4. I'm going to divide that by 2. So area is equal to 16 centimeters squared divided by 2. Area of my triangle is 8 centimeters squared. So this is 8 centimeters squared, its area, and this is also 8 centimeters squared together to give me the total of that 16 when you put together. So let's try it again. Base times height divided by 2. So area is equal to base, which looks like my 5 centimeters, multiplied by my height, 2 centimeters, and I'm going to divide it by 2. Multiplying by divided by 2, those are going to cancel out, but I'm going to work it through anyway, just so you can see it. 5 times 2 is 10. Centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. I'm going to divide that in 2. So area is equal to 5 centimeters squared. This is 5 centimeters squared, and this is 5 centimeters squared. So finally here, we've got this triangle, and just like some of the parallelograms we've seen before, I couldn't really measure my height here. I need to extend my base and come off on 90 degrees. So I've got a whole bunch of measurements on this triangle. I've got a 3, a 7.5, a 4, and a 1.5. I need a base, and I need to come off of that at 90 degrees to a corner to get my height. So those are the numbers I need. I really don't need those unless I'm calculating perimeter as well. So area is equal to base times height divided by 2. So area is my base, 3 centimeters, times my height, 1.5 centimeters, and I'm going to divide that in half. So 3 times 1.5 is 4.5 centimeters squared. I'm going to divide that in 2. So 2 goes into 4.5. 2.25 centimeters squared. So the area of my triangle is 2.25 centimeters squared. And you can see if I came off and I went up, just freehand this, came across, I've got a larger parallelogram or a larger square that it's part of. I could actually do the parallelogram as well and draw that off to show it. But we're working with half of it. In this case, it's 2.25 centimeters squared. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check the class website for additional notes, examples, and assignments.